So I get to show you this, You Move Me. Yes, this one is so cool.
Thank you.
And the dies coordinate, but it's not in our usual way. This is a very unique new set. So I'm just going to dive in so you can see, because it won't make sense until I do.
What's the set called?
You Move Me.
You Move Me.
So I'm just going to stamp in a darker color first. It doesn't matter which butterfly I would stamp first, but I'm using my darker color first, which is Old Olive. And then I'm going to use our new in color Lemon Lime Twist and stamp right over the top of it, and it lines up like in between there. And it gives you this very interesting look here, and you're thinking, what's this going to be? And the cool thing is that when you put the die cut over it, you can see the butterfly's wings moving. I don't know how much you can see from your angle, but I'm about to cut it out of this cardstock so you can see fully. So I'm going to use my precision base plate to cut it out. And I put it in horizontally. It cuts much better that way. And I'm going to give it like 4 passes through. And it's kind of crunchy. It's one of those scary ones because it's so tight.
Not good with a tablecloth.
Yeah, sliding around. And oh, it's not so crunchy this time. I wonder what happened.
You beat it into submission.
There we go. Make it do it.
She's definitely getting her workout today.
Yeah. Well, it kind of got crooked. I think I did it a little bit too fast, but that's okay. So then they come out pretty easily if you just kind of bend the paper, and you can grab the top and they just come right out. So that's nice about the precision base plate. Hi. Yeah, that isn't always doable with the others. And so let's go from the other side too. Takes a second, but it's good. So then anytime I roll dies back and forth, I get all those little hairs. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I like to use my adhesive remover on this one because it's just straight lines. So I can just kind of roll it on there and see all of the little goodies that used to be stuck to my plate coming off right there. And it just cleans it up a little. I think it was nice. So now we have that little great effect in there. And we need to cut out a little finger well. So that's also a die that comes in here. So we'll take the precision base plate off and just use our regular machine. And I'm going to put them like the tops together. So this is the die that cuts the little finger well. It's also a 1-inch circle punch that you could use. Then there's this little guy. This die coordinates with that tiny stamp right there. And it's one of those mystery stamps.
Yes, it is.
I have a picture of how Stampin' Up! Used it, in their catalog, so we'll take a look at that and see if it makes sense. This is how I'm using it, so I can thread a ribbon through it as a little something to grab onto. And it works perfectly for that. So, put those down. And go ahead and thread my ribbon through. Isn't this color so fun? And I'll just tie it with some twine.
I would not have put it with Old Olive. It's really pretty. I'm sure.
Yeah, with this kind of card, you need 2 different tones to make it look best, so that's what's up with that. Okay, so now we're just going to create a pocket here, and so that we can slide this piece in and out. So there's all kinds of different ways to make the pocket. You can fold up the edges or whatever you want to do, but I'm just using our foam adhesive strips because it's easy and fast. So I'll just take it along the edge, and I want a full piece on the edge so that when I'm sliding the card in, it's not catching along the way. if I put it in slightly crooked or something. So it doesn't have to be anything perfect. It can wiggle a little bit, but that's good. And then along the bottom, it doesn't matter if it goes all the way. It can be a smaller piece. It just needs to stop at the bottom so it doesn't fall out of the bottom of the card. And then we'll sandwich it on to our card base. Okay, there we go. So this is our finished product, and you can see the butterfly's wings flapping when you move it. And it's really fun. I don't know how much you can see. You really have to play with it. So just to finish it, I'm going to do a little sentiment on there, which there's a bunch of different sentiments in here, and there's some cute, you know, play on words with the movement and stuff. So I like that. For this, we'll go simple and put thanks. And that way we can open it and still have something inside, or this could be the card itself. But let me show you the other things that I've made. Okay, so I feel like this was almost made to go with our mini treat bag Thinlits, because it's perfect to use instead of an envelope, and you can get that same effect really easily, and it's so cute. So there's one. You can use just the butterflies. The butterfly dies themselves are super intricate and beautiful, so you don't even have to use the whole movement part to make it interesting. Here's another example of a card that you can use without the special effects on there, and I think it's really gorgeous with those butterflies. But if you could, why wouldn't you? So I made this when it got smashed last time, but when you open it, it flutters. So that one's fun. Let's see, I wanted to show you the hummingbird. That's the other little flutter guy with
I do like a hummingbird.
with honeysuckles there.
Yes, oh my gosh.
So cute, brings back childhood memories. And here's another version of that where it pulls down. And I just love to watch those wings flap. I could just play with this all day. And let's see, I'm trying to show in some sort of order that makes sense. Okay, this I experimented with the daisy, and it looks like it's rolling, sort of. So I knew that y'all would want to know. So I didn't put a stopper on the end of this one, so I could just slide this piece out. So I stamped it on a piece of white cardstock, just straight. Then I stamped it on another piece and die cut it with the grate. So, and then I offset them. Does that make sense?
So you made
Just
your own.
rotated the stamp.
You
Yes.
probably do that with any.
Yes, because this obviously it would work with a solid image to sponge over like I did with these hearts. Here's one. I'll show you this one first. I did it with our what is the sweet something dies, and I just used them as a as a mask.
Stencil.
Yes, and then I cut one of these as a stencil and sponged the colors. I sponged in red and
Melon. Or
yes, melon mambo. And so it kind of does a, I don't know, throbbing heart.
beating.
Yes, beating heart. And then I experimented here with stamping on top, and I thought that went pretty well.
Good.
I'll show you. You can just do a background that doesn't move, that doesn't do anything fancy, but it really is interesting visually. This one, I just accidentally discovered that any solid image you can get that stripy effect, which is pretty cool with those letters. I really liked. And the last one, just so you know what I'm talking about with those little bumper things, I didn't assemble it all the way. So here's my card base, and I just put the strip there, and I put one on the top and bottom so it'll stop and catch. And then I put this over the top with those two on the edges. And so now you can pull from both directions and it'll stop. But it moves.
Very
So.
good, Rachel. Thank you very much. Awesome.